Chester in North Carolina asked con-goers here if they think Harley Quinn should have had a solo movie. I don't think she should. Let's see if they can change my mind. Are you a fan? No, nobody. All right, no, neither of them are. Okay. All right, thanks for the honesty. Birds of Prey, Harley? No? Nope. No fans. All right, this is proving difficult. Guys, before I get to the show, I'm so excited to bring this back. We got 3 new installments and so many more on the way. But if you like this sort of content, it really helps me out if you go subscribe. That's right now. Hit the subscribe button, or better yet, the join button. All of that helps support this channel, keeps it going. And just so you know, we do a Change My Mind live edition Tuesday nights with Jody of Jody's Corner. It's so much fun. So please come back, check out the channel more often. Please engage the best you can. And without further ado, here is Change My Mind Nerd Edition.
She sucks ass.
There you go. Any Harley Quinn fans looking for Birds of Prey or Harley Quinn? Yeah? All right, I'm here. I think Harley Quinn should not have been given her own solo movie, and I found someone here who wants to try and change my mind. What's your name?
Lizzie.
Lizzie, I'm Andy. Awesome. So let's hear it. Why do you think you saw the version with Margot Robbie, Birds of Prey? Why did you like it? Why do you think it was worthy?
Well, I honestly think that she should have had her own movie because Joker had his own movie, so, why would you not give her her own and give her her chance to, prove who she's become after her and Joker broke up? But also, it's just a badass movie.
So I have thoughts, but I'm just trying to get more of yours. Why was it badass? Let me ask you there.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of, nowadays feminism, but I do think that for the younger generation to see somebody who was in an abusive relationship and then brought herself out of that and proved that she didn't need to have somebody controlling her and then just, being emotionally manipulative the whole time, that she was able to get through it. So
all right, so let's go start with that one. So I agree with you. I like that, but I was frustrated because we didn't have the Joker there to sort of get the final act and her standing up to him. It felt like sort of a weird, forced opportunity coming off of Suicide Squad, where it was like, if we're going to go there, then I want to see Joker there, and I want to see him go against her. And it felt like a missed opportunity of, Mr. J, Mr. J. It was just a lot of whining.
I completely agree with that.
It was a lot of whining. It didn't feel empowering to me. It felt like oh my God, it's like when someone's getting over their ex, and you're just like, get on with it. And she's too strong for me to watch that for the first half. So when she got with the girls, it was actually empowering and cool, but that was like the end of the movie. So I'm still hung up on that first beginning, as even a Harley Quinn fan, that's not how I wanted to see her. And if you're going to go there, give me the Joker. I mean, did you have any of those feelings too?
I did.
So, I guess maybe we're going to agree, because I'm not saying Harley Quinn couldn't get a good movie, but I don't think that character, given the plot and where they go and the state of the DCU, was worthy. She's a team-up character the way they've written her and the way Margot Robbie does it. Did she not get a little grating to you in the beginning?
She did.
I appreciate you being honest. But I don't think I'm coming at you like, oh no, F Harley Quinn, she sucks. I'm more disappointed with the way DCU has done it, and she was a good thing in Suicide Squad. Did you like her in Suicide Squad?
I did as well, yeah.
Do you feel like she was the same character?
No, I think she was a lot different in Suicide Squad and is also in her own movie.
So it sounds like we're agreeing more. What was so you liked the idea of it probably more than some of the execution? Am I hearing that?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you like the Birds of Prey team up at the end?
Not really. I mean, Huntress was really cool, and one of the other ones that was there, but
they completely wasted Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, I wanted more Harley, and it was more like Harley and the girls, it was a giant sleepover, and
Yeah, if they had shown up earlier and actually did a team-up movie, then it might have been cool, and that's my point of she works better with a team, or she works better in a versus. Her versus Joker, I think, would have been a 10 times better movie. So I guess I'm still hung. No, didn't change my mind, but do you feel like there's a version of this Margot Robbie Harley Quinn that could have withstood 90 minutes without a team-up or the Joker and eaten egg sandwiches and entertained you?
Well, it's kind of, if you want to make that same comparison with Jared Leto as the Joker, whereas Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, Jared Leto, I don't like him as the Joker. I don't think he did that well, but Joaquin Phoenix on his own with the standalone was phenomenal. So if we were to take Harley Quinn and give her the same opportunity that we did Joaquin Phoenix, I think it could be a lot better.
So you think Margot Robbie could handle, that character in that universe could have just gone off on her own adventure and done it?
Absolutely.
And not be distracted by the Birds of Prey. Do you feel like the R rating was worthy?
I mean, I enjoyed her, cursing, free will, but
she didn't do it that often.
No.
It felt like a wasted R.
It did.
And it was like, why do that? Just make it PG-13 and get more money. All right, so interesting. I'm seeing if you can sell me on the Margot Robbie solo version that's done a la Joker. How would you envision that?
How would I envision just like Margot?
A dark, serious movie?
It kind of reminds me, like, if it were to be done, do you remember the original Daredevil movie that was done with Ben Affleck? Something similar to that.
You just said, oh no.
Oh no.
Fuck you.
So, all right, well, hold on.
Darker, like, serious type movie.
Yeah, all right, so it's darker, but the Elektra, I just think Elektra and all the other garbage from that movie.
What? We're not talking about that. Like,
Colin Farrell was okay. All right, but now you've changed.
I know it's different universes, but, like, as a serious movie with darker themes.
So you're thinking it should be more like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in tone as opposed to...
Done in the dark. You're saying a Daredevil, but done in a darker tone like Joker did.
What I
Yes.
would say is a very dark comedy. Like the tone...
You know him?
Yeah, it's one of my best friends.
Okay, good. I'm not going to let him interrupt if he didn't know you. Can you allow him to talk?
Go for it.
I would say like the overall tone of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, but with, as opposed to like the Suicide Squad lighthearted humor, some dark, more morbid humor, like some twisted humor. That's what I think would...
Do you like that tape?
I agree.
All right, maybe. But even then, you think she could hold it out without sort of other characters that we know and love there? You could think she holds it on her own.
She can, if it's written correctly.
You know what? She's smart. That's always the way to beat this conversation. If it's written correctly, is the easiest way to win any of these arguments. I don't believe DCEU has proven they can write it correctly. Todd Phillips managed to do it outside the silo because they left him alone. But I feel like they changed their mind so much, and they're so what do we do with these characters that I don't have as much faith as you do. But hey, I respect your opinion. Any other final thoughts to trying to change any audience members' minds?
That's all I really have to say.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the civil conversation. Enjoy your con.
Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Thank
you, guys. All right, we're here. Derek just flagged me down. He saw the sign. You're a fan of the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie?
I am very much a fan of it.
Okay, so you think Margot Robbie should have had a solo film, and you thought it worked well?
At first, I didn't think she should have, but after seeing the film, I think she's going to be the new Deadpool for the DC universe.
Okay, so tell me why'd you like it so much?
Huge Deadpool fan, so all of her fourth wall breaks was super enjoyable for me. Also, I love seeing Margot Robbie in really skimpy outfits. So
that'll be hard to beat. So what about the movie itself? Like the plot, the everything?
For a DC movie, other than the Joker, it was still one of the better plots because, DC set a really low bar.
So tell me why you liked the plot.
It gave all the women a reason to be together, and hopefully move on to letting them have more movies together. It brought the Huntress in. I thought she did a really good job for her, what she did.
You didn't find their team up a little awkward by the end?
It was awkward, but at the same time, it gave them reason to be together. The biggest stretch was getting the female cop in there. I'm really bad with the names. Getting her in there, but the rest of them, I was super happy having them all together.
Look, I like that scene. I just think that should have happened an hour earlier in the movie, especially for a movie called Birds of Prey. She worked better for me when she was with the team up. The beginning, though, before we even saw any of those characters, it's a lot of Harley Quinn. It's a lot of her complaining. It's a lot of her, Mr. J, Mr. J, Mr. J. You didn't miss the Joker? You didn't sort of get annoyed by sort of that opening act?
I didn't miss that Joker. Not at all.
Fair, I get that, but she's so intertwined with the Joker. Didn't it feel weird to have her talking about it and then not even really sort of get to see any of it?
I've definitely had those exes that were obsessed with me. Look at me. So I understand where she was coming from. But, the whole movie itself was, from start to finish, super entertaining. I loved it. I loved seeing Margot Robbie roller derby. That was also one of my favorite highlights. Now I just need her to fall in love with Poison Ivy, and I'll be good to go.
Well, all right. Clearly, your fetish is helping this. A lot of his reasons. Perhaps then maybe I would have liked it more if I was a roller derby fan. I guess I'm not disputing that the character. I don't have a problem with Harley Quinn. I have a problem with her solo. I think she was better in Suicide Squad. I thought that movie was that bad, but she was a highlight of that movie. Did you like her in that movie?
I did love her in that movie, even though I agree. I thought that movie definitely lacked some, and she brought a lot to it. I did actually sort of hate that they left Suicide Squad as canon, especially with the way DC's wanting to switch everything up. They now have a new Joker, a new Batman, and everything else. So now we have like 5 DC universes in one universe, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, I was going to get there next. My other point was just the messiness of the DCEU. Why didn't they just ignore it? Wouldn't that? And then they're bringing her back for the Suicide Squad, which honestly I'm more interested in seeing that with James Gunn and the whole team up. But she did not sell me as a leading star on her own. I thought she was kind of grating. Like, she worked in small doses for me in Margot Robbie's performance. I like Margot Robbie, but her performance worked in smaller doses for me in Suicide Squad. In this, it was started getting a little, oh my God, the accent and like Deadpool didn't bother me in that sort of way. Like, he's annoying, sarcastic, but this was really sarcastic.
A lot of the Mr. J's.
So none of that bothered you. Just thought she was so good looking that you didn't care.
I get that a lot with women. I definitely overlook a lot of annoying things because of their looks, so that might be one of my issues.
At least you're honest.
So, but yeah, was it a good? I liked the movie. I was literally telling somebody earlier today that I really enjoyed the movie. So,
does it surprise you it wasn't a box office hit?
It actually does surprise me, but mainly because it's a comic book movie, and they're doing so well. But I do think the people at DC have no idea. I think they was talking to like the guys who did the first like 6 X-Men movies, but they don't have time travel to fix anything. So
all right. So it looks like I'm not you. You are too attracted to Harley Quinn for me to be able to change your mind. But I don't. That's not a good enough reason to change my mind. But it sounds like we agree, and some of it was fun, and the team up. It was nice to see Birds of Prey together. But even Birds of Prey, I don't know. I've been defending that part of the movie, but as I've been discussing, I don't even think that was done well. I think Cassandra Cain was wasted. I feel like their interaction when they finally get together, it was awkward. Why didn't anyone just shoot them? They all just sort of conveniently had bats, and all these bad guys are just like, okay, I'll wait for you. Everyone's sort of hyping up these action scenes, but they were kind of lazy. I mean, sure, some of them were choreographed, but there was no justification of why nobody could take them out. I didn't really buy their threat level. Did you?
It was very comic booky, to the point to where, like, if this was like the Avengers universe, the threat level would have been a much higher. So yeah, absolutely, they did set it up for them to win. And I do think that for it to be called Birds of Prey, the Birds of Prey were there for like 10 minutes. So, but as a movie in general, I enjoyed it from start to finish.
Well, there you go. He hasn't changed my mind, but I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate your honesty, and I guess your fetish. Good for you. He's open to things.
She should have been by herself, or at least have the Joker.
I mean, she was by herself.
Technically, yeah, because it was an old Rosie Perez. She didn't do anything. She hasn't been fearsome since White Men Can't Jump when she kicked Billy out. The crossbow lady was terrible. And that kid, I don't know why he was even in the movie. And then there was those other ones who had no point in being in it. It was just like horrible.
Yeah, but Harley Quinn's in the first 2 acts are pretty much just Harley Quinn, and you liked that part?
The best part was Harley Quinn when she bounced the bat off it and caught it, and then doing her own thing was the best part about that whole movie. It should have just been her.
But see, that's what I'm arguing. Why? She was terrible in the movie too, is what I'm trying to fight for. I don't think she delivered that much. I think she's a weird. Coming out of Suicide Squad, you can't just tease the Joker and then not give us some Joker.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. We wanted the Joker, but still, yeah, you're right. I can't argue.
She can't. I mean, she did a couple action sequences, but she was kind of annoying. Like, I like an egg sandwich, but I don't need to watch 20 minutes of her obsessing over an egg sandwich.
Yeah, egg sandwich is kind of the horrible. I wouldn't eat that either. It had expired cheese. Who wants that? Who wants expired cheese?
But so you think this character, the Margot Robbie, because you're arguing she could have, the movie would have been better if it had just been more of her? I thought the team up at the end, while I agree with the most of what you're saying, at least it was something happened.
Yeah, but this day they probably could have brought the Joker back in without having them helping her, though.
So you would have rather just seen Joker versus Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Okay. But again, not a solo movie. You have to see her with the Joker is what you're thinking.
You would have to throw him in there somewhere.
He's acknowledging she doesn't work in a solo movie.
Yeah, she doesn't work well. You have to throw somebody else in there. And not those 4 old ladies that didn't do anything. It's bad.
This is a hard one to find someone to disagree with.
I don't understand.
I think this video is just turning into a rant about Birds of Prey. Go ahead. Let it out, man.
I don't understand. You have Huntress, you have Black Canary, and you have Harley Quinn. Rosie Perez, she was just there. The little Asian girl was just there. So, for me, I felt like Suicide Squad was a better movie. They tried to make a female Suicide Squad, and it's not working, in my opinion. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. See, that's the thing. DC makes great animated movies, but when it comes to live action, they slipping just a little bit.
So the movie didn't fail because we're men and it wasn't marketed to us?
No, that's not the case at all. It was just a bad movie. It's just a bad movie in general.
Cut.
Did you hate it too?
I didn't even see it. I didn't want to see it. My problem was it looked like it focused too much on Harley Quinn and not any of the other characters.
So that's why you didn't go?
That's why I didn't go. I'm like, I don't really care about Harley Quinn as a character, especially in these movies. The comics and the animated show, that's a different story. But in this, no. It's just like, I want to see all these other awesome female characters instead of just Harley Quinn, who's just...
Well, they don't even show up until the end of the movie, so there you go. Don't waste your time.
At the end of the movie? Are you serious?
Birds of Prey don't really come in together until the very last act.
I thought it was called Birds of Prey, not Harley Quinn. Hang on, there's the Birds of Prey are in there somewhere, I think.
It's Harley Quinn featuring the Birds of Prey.
That's the dumbest title I've ever heard.
So do you think she deserves... I'm having trouble finding people who think she's worthy of a solo movie. What'd you think?
She's worthy of it, but I just wish that they had different characters, like Poison Ivy or someone else that would be with her in Birds of Prey, you know. I just didn't like how they made Black Canary like a different character altogether. I wasn't a fan of that. But the movie was good. It's not that bad, but...
Why was it... You just said a lot of bad things, so why is it good?
I mean, overall, it was good.
Why?
I didn't like the supporting character. She was good in it.
The supporting characters were barely in it.
That's why I didn't like it.
But you just said you didn't like it because of all the supporting characters.
Give it a 6.5 out of 7.
What parts, the Harley parts you said you liked better, which is the bulk of the movie, why?
Because she's pretty good as Harley, I think.
That's what I'm trying to push for, because that's where my struggle is. What do you like about the Harley?
I like how she performs the character, portrays the character, you know. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I like her. She looks good. She looks like a Harley to me, you know. She looks like, all right. There you go. That's all I need to know.
Well, he couldn't wait to leave because he just couldn't figure out how to defend it. But hey, to each their own. You see it?
I don't want to.
Why not?
It should not exist.
Why didn't you go see it though?
Did you see the trailers?
I saw the movie.
Did you really?
I'm sorry to hear that.
It looked
I'm really
awful, man. It looked terrible.
I thought it looked terrible too, and I didn't like it very much. But what was it about it? Just so I'm trying to sum up people's rants on this movie.
Look, here's the thing, man. There's a whole fucking female empowerment thing going on, right? We had it with Captain Marvel. We got it with this Birds of Prey bullshit. Harley Quinn does not work as a solo character. She needs to be with the Joker fighting Batman. Period.
I'm not going to go see it, no.
Well, there you go. It's hard to find someone to defend this movie when they won't even go to the theaters. All right, I'm out here saying Harley Quinn should not have been given a solo movie. Changed my mind. I found someone here who disagrees. What's your name?
My name is Christine.
Christine, awesome. Is it cool to use this on our YouTube channel?
Sure thing.
Awesome. So you disagree with me. You think Harley Quinn should have been given a solo movie?
Absolutely.
You like Birds of Prey?
I absolutely did. Yes.
Okay, why?
I think that Harley Quinn is a great standalone character. I think that she's like one of the underdogs of the DC Comics. I really enjoyed Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think she did a really good job with the character. She had the look. She's got the moves. From what I understand, she did a lot of her own stunts, and I really enjoyed the movie as a whole. I think that she definitely deserves her own movie. And I'm ready for you to argue with me.
Yeah, so I guess, fair. I think I like the character, so I'm clear. Right. I think she performs better in team-ups. And I think the movie faulted when they didn't have the Joker in it. Because to me, for a female empowerment movie, it was odd that she spent a good chunk of the movie complaining about Mr. J and then never had the chance to confront or kick Mr. J in the balls even. It was just sort of a letdown for me and it was just her whining around the movie. And then when the movie finally got good for me, it was the last half hour when the Birds of Prey finally showed up for a movie that was called Birds of Prey. And I think both Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey have proven, to me at least, that she's better in a team. She was a little annoying and hard. I didn't really understand what she was trying to do for that first half of the movie. She was all over the place. It was R, but then she didn't really know if she wanted to embrace the hard R. And then it was a lot of complaining. And I understand it's an abusive relationship with a Joker. That's part of the relationship. But I would have rather them get into that more. And it felt like a weird, safe studio meddling of a film that I just don't think was necessary.
Right, I think that they kind of went with a safer version of Harley Quinn for like the bigger audience, because I think more of the hardcore fans of Harley Quinn know that it's much more darker and it's much more gritty. But I do agree with you on that one, and I also do agree she works better as a team. But I also think that they were kind of like introducing her, so that's how I kind of took it. I mean, like, yeah, it does have its good and bad parts, but all in all, it's not too bad of a film. I think it was really good for an introduction. I'm like, again, I don't know if that's exactly what they meant, but that's how I kind of saw it. Was this as an introduction? And I do kind of yeah, I get she was kind of whiny, and I do wish we had more of the Joker so that we could see at least a little bit more of that conflict. But yeah, I mean, there are things we could fix about it, but all in all, I kind of really enjoyed it. So.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm not here to deflate your enjoyment. I just my frustration, because I like the character. I think DC is a mess. I think the DCU is a mess, and this only just sort of showed that. Look, I'm all for female empowerment. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it was like all the women characters are good, all the men characters are bad. It felt kind of lazy, and I felt like they could have done a couple different things to sort of just make it seem more original, more challenging, and I don't feel like they really did it. I wish they hadn't even mentioned Suicide Squad, because you say it was an introduction to her, but let's be honest, it wasn't. This was chapter 2 of the Harley Quinn story, and we're getting a third chapter with the Suicide Squad, and so my problem is, like, I almost preferred Suicide Squad, oddly enough, and I probably will prefer James Gunn version. And I liked the last act of Harley Quinn's movie, where it's like my last sort of comment, because I don't want to beat the dead horses. What about the Harley Quinn solo parts of that movie connected to you? Did you not find her a little grating in the beginning as she was sort of trying to find her footing?
Well, okay, I think I misspoke when I said introduction. I meant introduction to Birds of Prey as a group.
Sure,
but I still feel like you're right. It's a little weak in that, because they hinted at... I'm trying to think of the characters. They were hinting at certain things, and it didn't show up till the very end, and you were just kind of sit there like waiting for things to happen. So there are very, very weak parts, and I think that's where their weakness comes from, is that they're trying to appeal more to the masses, more than to comic book fans. Which is, I think they should, if they stuck more to the content that is originated from, that they would probably have better success. But yeah, so I agree and I disagree. It has its good and bad parts, but I could,
Do you feel like the movie was marketed to men?
I do.
There's critics who say it's not. I'm just curious what your take was.
Well, see, I'm one of those women, I don't feel like it's all, men are always bad and women are always good. I feel like there's a strength in both. And I did kind of feel like it was more geared towards women, as though women are strong and men are bad, and I'm like, well, that I don't agree with, because there are some very good male characters that were helpful in Suicide Squad, and other male characters that aren't all bad guys, or at least helpful in their own ways. So yeah, I do agree with that. But like, yeah, it has its good and bad parts. I don't know how to defend that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do agree. They do need to have stronger. They need to go back to the base content more, which they kind of did. They hinted at it, but I feel like you're right. They should have added more. But again, for the movie, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad sit, but they could have done better. Yeah.
It wasn't a bad sit. All right, that's a fair. I'll give it that. You're sitting there distracted. I've talked to a couple other people. It's an action-packed, zany energy film. Fair. I guess I just expected and wanted a little bit more, and I was disappointed. And I don't feel like Harley Quinn has proven herself to be a leading role. As where I'm still hung up. Do you think did you feel like Birds of Prey specifically, like, warranted more of, like, you know what, I don't need the Birds of Prey, I don't need the Joker, I'd love to watch Harley Quinn just do whatever she does, like Deadpool, for an hour and a half. Yeah. Could you actually see that happen?
I would love to see it happen, but I would also love to see it done properly, because Harley Quinn is a great character, but again, a character that has to be done correctly. Because if you don't understand Harley Quinn and you don't understand why she is the way she is truly, and you don't get that full backstory, then you're not going to understand why she is the way she is now, and why she does the things that she does, and why she is so erratic and kind of out there.
Because the Joker totally effed her up.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, it's kind of hard to make a solo movie with her without the Joker, especially if it's your first big movie.
I think that they really, I think that one of the reasons they did that was because everyone's like, oh, Jared Leto Joker was horrible, and I'm like, look, okay, there's always good and bad to it. I'm not saying he was great. I'm not saying that he was horrible. I'm saying that maybe they could have included him a little bit. I do agree with that.
Or they could have killed him off in the movie. It might have made fans even more happy.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm kind of I liked it, but I do agree with some of the parts.
Looks like we found some common ground here. I'll expect that. I appreciate good civil talk. Thank you for talking.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, that was a lot harder to do than I thought it would be. Honestly, I thought there'd be some more passionate fans. Again, it must have been the wrong place, but I did several loops to try and get as many positive arguments as I could. You saw what I got. The last woman there, I thought, gave the best opportunity to defend it, and even she, all of the ones who were defending it, came around to some form or another of that, yeah, I guess it wasn't that. So that's what you have. No one changed my mind. What about you? Did they change your mind? Was your mind already set? Tell me your thoughts down below. Also, what other topics would you like me to cover in a future Change My Mind? I'm looking forward to going to other conventions around the country in the coming year. I'd love to hit one of yours. If you want to submit me there, you can. Or if you just want to send me a topic that you want me to handle at the next convention, weird ones, crazy ones, whatever. Let's do some of this more often. Thank you so much for the support. Be sure to subscribe to not miss future episodes of these. I got a few more in the bank that are coming soon. You're not going to miss. So subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Thank you so much for the engagement and for your support. I'll be back with more content very soon. Thanks, everybody.